Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and today we're going to talk about the 2023 dramedy, The Holdovers, directed by Alexander Payne, written by David Heningson, starring Paul Giamatti, Divine, Joy Randolph, and Dominic Cessa. Alongside me is a man who likes to correct my grammar every second of the day. That's the cousin Benny. How you doing?
I'm doing good, but I got to let you know that you're not saying the call letters right. It's WNBC.
And alongside us, father of two. Congratulations. Our co-host and good friend, Ryan. Ryan, how we doing?
I'm hanging on by a thread, gentlemen, but I'm
Well, I
still
mean,
here. I made it.
look at us. We didn't even miss an episode. We didn't even miss a beat. We put some in the can. We're back live though this week, so happy to see you. Happy to see you.
Happy to be back. I need a little semblance of I don't know, socialization outside of this household. So feels good. But be forewarned because I'm running on no sleep. So this should be an interesting episode. So welcome. Like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. And what we typically do here is watch movies that either one or all three of us haven't seen. And in this case, this week, none of us have seen The Holdovers. So it was, typically one or, one of us, two of us have seen it. We typically do like classic movies. And normally we do a vote every Friday. So be on the lookout for that. If you're not following us on Instagram, please do so. Let the Boys Watch Pod.
Hmm.
Yes. So get involved in our vote. We didn't do the vote for a couple weeks because of the holidays and the fact that I have a new human in my life. And if you like what you hear, or if you don't like what you hear, send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't like, what you want us to watch, whatever. We'll take it all. Maybe you want to send us an email that has nothing to do with any movies. Do it. Whatever. We're into it. And speaking of emails, we did get one this week from a very special person, our good friend, and someone's BIL, Brian, last name redacted. Should we
Don't
get into
remind me
that
about
email?
that.
Or what would you say?
Don't remind me about that.
I'm sorry. Should we get into that email, or do you guys have anything you want to discuss first?
No, let's
No.
do the email.
Yeah.
All right. This email comes from a friend of the program, my Bill. Brian, last name redacted. He's been yearning, as the kids say, to get this email read every day. I get a text. When are you gonna read the email? When are you gonna read the email? I don't really care that Ryan just had a kid read the email, things like that. I said, chill out, man. So finally, here's his email. Brian titles the email Fantasy Movie. Just want to touch on this briefly, but I can't believe Benny went out of his way to lower his score for Jaws. Watch it again. Such a well-made movie. Benny, any rebuttal?
I feel like me and this guy are on a collision course to Hell in a Cell. So, Brian, get ready for WrestleMania 40.
It's
I'll
around
see
the
you there.
corner too.
I
Couple
know.
of months. Anyways, here are my picks for my movie. I probably would have used a lot of the names that you guys picked, but I'm going to change it up just to keep things fresh. Director. Going to go with Denis Villeneuve. For me personally, he has reached a level of Tarantino, Nolan, and Wes Anderson in the sense that I will watch any movie he directs without knowing anything about the movie. I have so much faith and confidence that he is incapable of creating anything less than great. Movies that he directed that I loved are Prisoners, Incendies, Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, and Dune. His movies are guaranteed to be thought-provoking, well-acted, intense, and beautifully shot. If I could find time between showers and emptying the dishwasher, I would come on your show for a Dennis. Oh, it's Dennis Villeneuve. He had Denny up
Yes.
top. So sorry, Dennis Villeneuve a week. I just wouldn't know which movie to pick. Going to add another honorable mention, David Lynch. He did crazy work with Twin Peaks, Mulholland Drive, and Blue Velvet, among others.
You guys ever watch Twin Peaks?
No, I want to.
Yeah,
I heard
Brian's
it's
asked
out
me.
there.
It's fucking wild, man. It's good, but it's wild.
For writer, some of the obvious picks were taken, but you guys, so I'll go with Taylor Sheridan. He wrote Sicario and Wind River, which are both great, and also Hella High Water, which is pretty good. He's also churning out a ton of TV shows. I admit, I have not watched them, but they seem to be popular, like Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, 1923, and 1883. There are obviously more accomplished writers out there, but wanted to add something new to the mix. Uh, you guys haven't seen Sicario, right?
No, I think we were gonna put it up for a vote one of these weeks. I know literally nothing about that movie.
Yeah, it's a good one. Wind River's good, and so is Hell or High Water. Um, for Brian's lead actor, he picked Christian Bale. Always does a
It's a good
great
pick.
job and very versatile. Yeah, I like Christian Bale. Very good. Lead actress, going to go with Florence Pugh. She seems kind of strange on a personal level, but definitely a solid up and coming actress. Watched an Ari Aster movie called Midsummer, which was a decent movie, I guess, but her performance was super intense. Full range of emotions and facial expressions from her in that movie. Um, I'm a huge Florence Pugh fan. I mean, she gets the plums just on a level that hasn't seen explosions since I don't even want to say the joke because I got canceled. But
Well, I mean, if Florence Pugh is getting your plums excited, then you need to see Oppenheimer because I'm telling you, there'll be more than one nuclear explosion in that movie.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's the only reason I want to see Oppenheimer so my plums can just blow up.
You should see it in IMAX. That's all I'm gonna say, babe.
Those nips on the 70 millimeter. Look out.
The size of your head.
Like two big flapjacks. Supporting actor, Michael Fassbender. Loved him in Inglourious Bastards, and he was also good in 12 Years a Slave. His character was horrible, obviously, but he was just so good at playing that part. Yeah, forget it. Fassbender, one of the best. We watched a movie of him, um, and his scene in Inglourious Bastards is one of my favorites. Supporting actress, I'll go with Regina King. She killed it in the Watchmen series and The Leftovers, and was also awesome in Jerry Maguire. Definitely fantastic pick. She was very good.
Yeah.
Um, character actor, I'll go with Sam Rockwell. Uh, no, character actor, I'll go with J.K. Simmons here. Always plays a great role. Whiplash was his award-winning role, but he's always solid. Honorable mention of Stephen Root from Office Space, Boardwalk Empire, and Barry. Definitely. I want to give another shout out to Peter Stormare, who was in Fargo, the movie, and of course his best role ever as Slippery Pete from Seinfeld.
Oh,
Came so
slippery
close to
Pete, the best.
came so close to pulling off that Frogger heist, but the battery died and they couldn't find quote unquote the holes.
That's one of my favorite episodes. I don't know if it was like one of the first ones I ever saw live as a kid. Like, I remember watching it in syndication all the time, but definitely the later seasons was when I started watching them live. And I remember that being one of my favorite episodes.
It's a good episode. Character actress Ann Dowd. She's been in a lot of movies, but her role in The Leftovers is great. I love that show, and the acting from everyone was a major reason why. She was always a scene stealer. Speaking of The Leftovers, Carrie Coon is another great actress who has gone on to play a ton of parts. I never seen Leftovers. He's always telling me to watch it, but I don't listen to him. So, did you guys see it?
No.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good, but also like Twin Peaks, fucking
Yes.
weird.
Composer, I can't resist going with Hans Zimmer. Such a long list of great scores. Gladiator, Inception, Dark Knight, Interstellar, 12 Years a Slave, Blade Runner, 2049, Thin Red Line, and Dunkirk. I know that. Cinematography, Roger Deakins. Beautiful movies that he was involved in include Blade Runner 2049, No Country for Old Men, Sicario, Prisoners, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, and Shawshank Redemption. You could watch a lot of these on mute and just enjoy the view. Well, see you later.
I feel like whenever we do Sicario, I think Brian's got to be a guest because he was heavy Sicario on that list.
Heavy Sicario and Heavy 12 Years a Slave. So I don't know what he's trying to tell us about that, but
I will jump back to my point about Jaws, or his point about Jaws. I really enjoyed the movie. Like if you go back and listen to that episode, I had nothing but great things to say, and I think it held up well. For me, it was just about putting it in a spot in my list that I felt more comfortable with. I felt like an 8.7, it was just in an area where I wasn't too thrilled with, and that's why I ended up moving it. I think everything kind of fit my list where it was, no matter the score. Like if I didn't like the score necessarily, I still think things kind of landed where they should in my rankings. I said it held up well. I said it was a great movie, especially once they got on the boat, it was fantastic. For me, it was just kind of putting it where I wanted it in my rankings.
Fair. And if you're wondering why Brian just gave us a list of things, check out the Plummies episode where we all three of us do this. And just talk about some of our favorite actors, actresses, directors, writers, all that fun stuff. But yeah, thanks a lot, Brian. You couple of good picks there. I like some of those picks.
I like too that he went with our rule of not picking anybody that we had used in our draft. So thank you for that, Brian.
Yeah, refreshing.
If
Refreshing
you
that a
still,
listener listens to us.
yeah, if you still like me. I have a little mea culpa I want to do here. Is that okay? Can we get into it?
Robbie, what do you think? Should we let him?
I mean, I was going to, but then just before we got on, he really fucking chat my ass. So I don't know what I want to do right now.
Well, maybe I
But
have
he's my
two.
he's my cousin, so I oblige.
All right. Well, if you listened to the Going Gray podcast a couple weeks ago, you know that we had a little boys' night out before Ryan had his addition to his family. And we met with good friend of the pod, Kenny. We saw him at the bar. We waved him over to the table. And in typical Ben fashion, I fumbled a completely full glass of water on the table. Narrowly avoided a complete disaster. I did get Kenny a little wet, so I want to just say I'm sorry to Kenny. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what is going on with me. My hands are just terrible. This is why I have a case on my iPhone. But I went to pick up the glass of water, and the condensation on the outside, the old fingertips lost grip. And we were having a great conversation. And Kenny was like, you know what? Fuck these guys. I'm out of here. He's like, before I get wing sauce on my face, I need to leave. So I'm sorry, Kenny. I hope you come back on the show. I hope you don't hate us now. We love you. And, I just want to apologize to you. And I want to apologize to you guys, Robbie and Ryan, for ruining that great night we were having.
Apology accepted.
Thank you.
It was embarrassing. It was morbidly embarrassing, but apology accepted. As long as it didn't land on me, I could care less.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say we went out last week and there were no such spills. So, hey, 1 week without an incident.
No, the only thing that spilled was the explosion in my chinos after I bit into the lasagna, but that's about it.
uh, I feel good getting that off my chest.
Good. Yeah.
Thank God.
Kenny, please, if we do it on Zoom, no one can spill anything on you. So please come on the show again. Ben, you should get one of those signs like X days since last accident, like at a
Yeah,
workplace, and just since last spill.
or just like a shirt that just says "Keep 5 feet away from me at all times."
Oh man.
All right. What do you think? Should we get into this film?
Let's do it.
All right. I mean, what we normally do is anyone who hasn't seen the movie, we kind of, let us know what our impressions are, but we all three of us haven't. So anyone want to start?
Why don't you go first?
All right. This was a film and I feel like I took this from University of Ben. and not knowing anything about the movie I was about to
Nice.
watch. So I knew very little. I knew Paul Giamatti was in it. I knew it was about a school, and that was basically it. I didn't know it was a period piece. I didn't know, really anything else about it. So I went in pretty clean, and I think that was a big help to my enjoyment of the movie because I feel like if I knew, more about the plot, I might not have been as interested in it. So, I mean, I always want to not know anything about movies going into them, but I can't give up the internet, so I always get spoiled
Yeah.
with something, and then I know something, so it fucks me up.
Robbie, what about you?
I had nothing. I just knew um Paul Giamatti was in it. I saw, bits and pieces of things, but nothing where it was to the point where I had any idea what this movie was about. I had no assumptions of what it was about. I made no, you know, things up in my mind what I thought the movie was about. I had no idea. So I think that's what made me, enjoy the movie so much because like we saying previously, like every time I watch a trailer, I'm pretty good at remembering stuff that I see in a trailer. So if I notice something in the trailer that hasn't come in the movie yet, and it's like an hour and 40 minutes in, I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna come soon. I feel like I get spoiled with that. And sometimes they just make these trailers so damn good now that it's sometimes better than the entire movie. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to going forward, for movies that I haven't seen, obviously, I'm trying not to watch any kind of trails. I just want to go into it blind. So I was happy I did.
For me, this was probably would have been a movie that I definitely wouldn't have seen anything for. But it was one of the previews when we went to go see Oppenheimer. Um, and the thing that I was like, I might see it, and that really was only because it was Paul Giamatti, and I love Paul Giamatti. Um, but I think it I wish I didn't see it, but it also did a good job of kind of camouflaging what the movie was actually going to be. Like I was super surprised when it turned out to be so stylized in the 70s. Um, I really like that. Obviously we'll get into that later. So as much as I wish it didn't give some things away about like kind of the relationship of the two of them, um, I was definitely intrigued, but I wasn't like dying to watch it. So just more excited that it was a Giamatti movie.
Wait, you saw Oppenheimer?
Oh, babe, I gave it a 10.
No way.
I did 10 out of 10 plums. It was a plum explosion.
I learn something new about you every single day of the week.
I saw it in
Unbelievable.
I saw it in IMAX 70 millimeter.
What?
That's right. The only way to see it.
Damn it. I can't watch it now on my stupid TV.
You can't.
Let me call Nolan up, see if he can put it back in the theaters.
Well, just your luck. It is back in the theaters right now.
Get out of here.
It is.
Ryan,
It
I know
also
you got
comes
some
to streaming February 16th, by the way. But it's in the
my
theaters again.
birthday. It's my birthday. According
It
to you, it's my
is your
birthday.
birthday.
I tell you that Benny every year will text me like 6 weeks before my birthday and say happy birthday. And
It's
I don't
always
even I don't even correct him.
it's not even that early. It's always on the 17th. And he's like, thanks, my birthday's tomorrow. And every fucking year I do it. I think it's stuck last year. Last year was the last time I'll do it.
Yeah.
I know I gotta put it in the
Put it
calendar,
in
but I
your
like to
Thank
calendar.
you,
You
Ryan.
can't say.
I
Yeah,
know.
whatever.
I know.
It's in
Thank you,
there.
Ryan. A true
Well,
friend.
Robbie, happy birthday.
Thank you, bud. It is January 17th, obviously. So, what
Yeah.
you're a month early.
Um, no, I want to see Oppenheimer regardless, but um, shit, lost my train of thought. But anyway, so should we move on to uh impressions and plum scores?
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't we keep the same order?
All right. I really like this movie. It was at first I was just like, I don't know about this. Like I was like, is this gonna be like a fucking slog and I'm gonna like drag through this? But very quickly I was like, oh, all right, I'm interested. Give me like a boarding school setting and a time period that's not now, so anytime in the past, and I'm probably at least interested. Throw Paul Giamatti in there. Couple, I mean, the main kid was this was his first film. He did great. All the other actors that were in this film were really good. Um, and it didn't try to be like too much or too corny. Like I kept expecting it to be like now Paul Giamatti gets a girlfriend, or like now like this is gonna happen and things are gonna like fit so nice and this, or they're gonna get in a fight and then he's Paul Giamatti's gonna have to find him, and like like the typical
Yeah.
like movie tropes, and then none of that happened. It was just a movie about uh people's relationship evolving into like friendship or mutual respect, and like um and I really liked it. It was very good. Bonus, I think it was so good that it broke my wife's water because we went to the hospital that night.
Wow.
Nice.
Shout out Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, he's been breaking water since fucking whenever he was born. I don't know. So
It must
yeah,
have been
I
his, it
I
must have
liked it
been
a
his
lot.
lazy eye.
That was it. Because we couldn't tell which one it was. We kept looking back and forth, and I think all that movement just shifted.
So, fun fact about that, they actually switched it
Yeah, they were
throughout the whole
switching it.
movie. And the reason they did that was to keep you off guard. Because I was like, I'm so positive it was his left eye. And that was just one of the things that they said that they did because, like that question he asked, like, which eye should I be looking at? They did that so like you as the viewer kind of felt the same way. So it bothered me because of, the continuation, but it also like once I read that, I was like, okay, nice, cool move.
I wonder if it was like an homage to like almost similar to Young Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie where the hump moves.
Really?
Yeah, or like Robin Hood Men in Tights when the mole moves like on his face. But like supposedly filmmakers do that to like because movies back in the day didn't have a continuity like
Yeah.
supervisor, so nobody fucking knew what was going on. So that shit would happen all the time.
Yeah. Like the guy had a different haircut and then he went back to the old haircut two
Yeah.
seconds later.
Yeah.
Plum
Robbie.
score?
Oh wait, well, do you want to do that plum
Oh yeah,
scores
we
and then
could
we'll do okay.
we could do it
Um,
after.
so I actually have two plum scores. We have a bonus plum score this week.
Really?
Um, my newly born child actually watched it and gave it
Okay.
no. My wife and I watched it together, and she decided she wanted to give a plum score. So my score was 8.1.
Okay.
Like I said, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Not something that I'm gonna be watching every year or things like that, but I really enjoyed it. So 8.1, and Katie gave it an 8.4. She really liked it too. Which is it's
Awesome.
somewhat rare for us both to like something.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thanks,
And
Katie.
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
birthing my child and
congratulations.
giving us a plum score.
What a week for her.
Can't get better than that.
Rob?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. The It got me right away with the intro. The credits, loved it. Loved the old school credit vibe. I really enjoyed that like 70s nostalgic introduction to credit score. I was gonna say. But I just love that. I love the old school graphics. I love the wintry set piece in New England. You give me a New England-y area in the winter, and say less with that. Cinematography was fantastic. Dialogue was great. It was a serious movie, but it was also a funny movie, and that's the one thing I didn't expect for it to be so funny to me. It was serious. Uh, a lot of underlying factors in this movie that has serious tones to it, which I did enjoy. Um, like I said, the production design was great. Like I said, set pieces, loved it. I mean, Such a great. Anytime you got snow in a movie, I'm all in. Like I said, winter stuff, I'm all in. Soundtrack was awesome. So many songs from this movie that I absolutely love. I really didn't know it was gonna be like I guess it's a holiday movie. Will I watch it every year like Home Alone? Probably not. But no, I just thought it was it was great. I thought the acting was phenomenal. And I thought the chemistry between the three main characters were top notch. It really was. It pulled at my heartstrings. And I know I'm gonna go back to what Ryan was talking about. I love movies that don't give you that quote unquote happy ending. Like Ryan, like everything comes together and somebody has an epiphany and Paul Giamatti smells like fish, but now all of a sudden he's finding somebody that he's gonna date and things like that, or he's gonna save his job. Spoiler alert. I love it. Like I said in previous episodes, this is just life, and life isn't a movie, and that's what I love about these specific movies where there is no happy ending. It's just basically, you know, life. Bad things happen, good things happen, and sometimes you're stuck with the good, sometimes you're stuck with the bad. Sometimes you take the good and then sometimes you take the bad
You add it up.
and and you add it up and you get the facts of life. So that's really it. Um, for me, I'm gonna have to go with Katie as well. 8.4 for me. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I would recommend it to anybody who likes dialogue and great writing and things like that and awesome acting. And you get all that in this movie.
Um, so for me, like I told you guys earlier, I actually rewatched it because, like we mentioned earlier, we've had a couple episodes in the can, not knowing what was going to happen with Ryan and if he was going to be able to record regularly. So we watched this a week ago, and then now we're recording a week later, and it didn't feel right to me to not watch it again and be fresh. And I'm not gonna lie, I was dreading it a little bit. But honestly, once the movie started, I was pulled right back in. And I was really surprised at how engaged I was the second time. I really loved the movie. I just didn't know if I wanted to watch it again this quickly, but everything you guys mentioned, the story, the score, just the whole vibe of it from the way they stylized it. It was awesome. And I really, really enjoyed it. Paul Giamatti is just, I mean, what can you say about him in this movie? He's crushing it. He always crushes it, but this is just him on a whole other level. I love his freakouts. I love, the chase scene. I love, the way his character develops. It doesn't feel rushed. It feels very natural. Ryan, you mentioned this is Dominic Cessa's first real role, and for him to put up the performance he did is just insane to me. Um, Joy Randolph, awesome in this movie. It just everything came together in this movie. I like how it, like Ryan said, psyched you out a few times. Even with the whole setup with there being four kids or five kids in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. I felt like the movie was going one way, and then it kind of changed up on you. Even though they built those characters up, they weren't afraid to just pull them right out of it. I really love this movie. I think if I'm giving it a score, I probably would have lined up with Robbie and Katie and gone with an 8.4. But because I watched it again so soon and it pulled me back in immediately, I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna go 8.7. I really, really liked it. And the fact that it held up so quickly again and pulled me back in, and I just noticing all the little details that they sprinkled in, and the way it kept my attention. I got to give it a really high grade because I think it was a really great movie.
Nice. Yeah, I
Love it.
was thinking if I watched it again, my score might change a bit. Now I kind of want to now after hearing what you said.
It's just, I mean, like there are little things that you always notice in a movie, but when, um, I forget her name, the teacher that he sees that's a waitress, when she comes up to the door to give him the cookies in the beginning of the movie, she's got like red lipstick on her teeth, which
Yeah.
kind of like is so her character. Um, yeah, to me it was just,
Crane,
uh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Miss Crane.
yeah. Yeah, I loved it, man. I really did.
Nice. It's very Dead Poet Society-esque, which we put up for a vote, I think once. But now I'm kind of curious, like if we ever were to try and watch that movie, like what your opinions are after seeing this, because I feel like the comparisons would make you think differently of the movie, but we may never watch it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But very similar. New England boarding school during winter. Bunch of idiots. Yeah. And a great like teacher, but although different, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad we all liked it. I almost feel like I'm waiting for us to like watch a
Sure.
movie and just it be garbage and we still haven't. Like there's been a couple that we maybe don't like as much, but at some point we're gonna come both and be like, Jesus Christ,
Well,
that was fucking bad.
next week we're doing Barbed Wire starring Pam Anderson. So
Really? Barbed wire, hats, and we need a third one for the vote.
G.I. Jane.
Oh man. All right, should we do scenes or characters first? What do you guys think? Robbie, I think I let Benny choose last time. Robbie, why don't you choose this time?
Oh, we can go characters.
Nice. Would you like to go first?
Uh,
We'll do favorite first. Does that change your choice?
e yeah, I go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it live.
Do it live. I have to go Paul Giamatti. Obviously. What happened?
I wanted to do Paul Giamatti, but sorry, you can do it.
You can do Paul Giamatti.
No, go ahead, please, please.
No, I'll pick who I really wanted to pick.
Who'd you really want to pick?
You go second.
All
I'll
right.
pick. All right. I'll go Dominic Cessa as my favorite character, Angus Tully. You want to pick him too?
I do actually.
You son of a bitch. Although I love Paul Giamatti, I really wanted to pick Angus Tully because Paul Giamatti, obviously a home run, A plus, fantastic. But for what Dominic Cessa did in this role, I had no idea this was his first role until after the movie, and and I was blown away by how fantastic he was in this movie. Um, he plays the young teen who's got, a lot of emotional scars, is acting out. He plays it so well. In the beginning, you kind of think like, man, this kid's kind of a dick. What's his deal? Like, what's going on with him? And then you feel for him when certain scenes come up in the beginning, and then when he's stuck with Paul Giamatti for basically the entire movie, and you see him acting out in certain scenes, and then you finally realize, like, oh, now I get it. Like now I understand why this kid is acting like that because I feel like I can relate to his character. I feel a lot of young teens can relate to his character, and I just think that he, played the role so well, masking, the pain that was inside of him, with his dad, his mom, his stepdad, and things like that. And I don't know. To say I was blown away, obviously, like, I mean, that's stupid of me to say because it's just acting, but I was truly blown away by how good he was in this movie. And I'm so surprised that this was his first movie. And I really can't wait to see him in other movies because I think he nailed this character, nailed what the character was supposed to be, what the character goes through, and why he's acting like this in the entire movie. So yeah, I'll have to go with Dominic Sessa as Angus Tully as my favorite character.
I'm with him too. Like, there's a bunch of high moments for him, but just the whole from him getting in the cab to that face he's making in the car after they leave the asylum, like awesome. Like the emotions he's going through when he sees his father, from like being happy to see him to when his father drops I think they're putting something in my food line, and you just see like the everything just like his face just kind of go blank and being like, my father's gone, like there's nothing here anymore, and just that blank stare he has in the car leaving, that was just incredible from him. So glad you picked him, because I'm gonna pick my favorite character, and it's Paul Giamatti. I was gonna say the little Mormon boy if you pick Paul Giamatti, but I'll go Paul Giamatti. Um, I could talk all day about the character and like I said, the progression and just how it felt natural. But for me, with Paul Giamatti, it's always the little moments with him. And I think of him when he's doing the exercises outside, and the whole a body at rest will eat itself. And when he goes to throw the football, and it's just the way he walks away from that. Um, everything, the way he's chasing Angus when he's running through the school. Uh, when he starts lying to the guy that he met from Harvard, and then they're having that little discussion afterwards, and Angus is like, "Oh, I thought a Barton boy doesn't lie." And just the way Paul Giamatti goes, "What is this, the Nuremberg trials?" There's just so many little moments from him. I is super into the award season, and everybody says Cillian Murphy's the odds-on favorite to win Best Actor. But Paul Giamatti's starting to become a little bit of the dark horse. And as much as I love Oppenheimer and I loved Cillian Murphy in that movie, there's a part of me that wants to see Paul Giamatti get it because I just think he's awesome in everything that he does, and I've been such a fan of his since Private Parts. That's why my name on here is Pig Vomit today. I started with the WNBC. He's just in that movie, just such an asshole, but he's just so good at it. Like him and Howard play off each other. I mean, talk about somebody that had no right to be good in a movie is Howard Stern, and the chemistry that those two had together was just fantastic. I'd watch anything Paul Giamatti's in. So just to see the performance he put up in this movie, it was great, and the reason why I love this movie so much.
Nice.
And I'm saving my favorite line for the outro.
Okay. Um, good choices. I mean, I think there's only one person left, but she was gonna be my choice anyway. Even though, you know, Dominic Cessa and Paul Giamatti were amazing in this film, but I love Davine Joy Randolph as Mary Lamb. The just the her ability to convey like the pain of losing a child was amazing. That scene, when they're at the party and she just fucking loses it because the song was on. Um, the scene really got me when you find out what was in the hat box. Um, her son's stuff to give to her sister's new child. Like she was fantastic. And she was funny too. Like all three of these characters were so good in the serious scenes, but also so good with comedy. Like especially, these three. There was a number of other funny lines by other people, but loved seeing these three interact. It's fantastic. But yeah, for me, she was my favorite. I look forward to seeing her in more stuff, just like Dominic or um like Dominic, like I fucking know him, Dominic Sessa.
We
My
call
buddy
him Dom.
Dominic over here. We call
Dom,
Dommy.
hey Dom, when you get a chance, drop a line, come on the show.
Buddy Dom.
Fuck. But yeah, no, I loved all three of them. So honestly, whoever picked whoever, me going last, I would have picked the other one. But yeah, for me, Davine Joy Randolph, loved her.
Awesome.
Any
Who's your least favorite, Ryan? Oh, Ani
well,
mentions,
before, do
yes.
we have any Ani
Yes.
mentions?
Sorry, it's been almost 2 weeks since we
I
did one of
know,
these.
shoot, fucking
Well,
flip it.
fucking shape up,
Come on.
Sorry, bud. Sorry,
little
babe.
fuck.
I mean, Danny
I'll
was
go
good.
quick.
Sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Robbie.
Is that the janitor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Why
good.
we just wanted to get a,
Yeah.
you know,
Little smooch for New Year's, maybe.
yeah, get a couple suck on the jugs. Why couldn't he get a little, poor guy? Who else?
I loved most of the like just I know they all flew off in a helicopter, but all the other kids were just like enjoyable, like as characters. Like they weren't obviously as fleshed out as these three, but they all kind of had that thing. The kid with the fucking mittens and the Mormon kid, and they're all just like interesting. I like them.
Yeah, everybody played their role well.
Yeah. All right. So then, least favorite, unless there's any other Anis.
Go for it.
Um, I think I'm definitely gonna go with there. Fucking Angus Tully's mom. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
Listen, I
Stunk.
understand that you probably had a really rough time with your husband losing his mind, and I'm sorry. But that doesn't give you the right to marry some new dude and treat your son like shit. So fuck you. You gotta go on your honeymoon. You can't spend Christmas with your son. And then you come down when you're inconvenienced. Fuck you. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
She stunk. She stunk.
Stunk.
I mean,
Stunk.
let me pick the ball up right from you and run it
Please.
into the end zone here and say that my least favorite character was Tate Donovan as Stanley Klotfelter, the who is the stepfather.
Yep.
I mean, you know what? I could forgive a lot of things, but the way he so viciously corrected the headmaster when he said this is Angus's father and mother, and he just jumped in with stepfather. I was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. He's an asshole. He's complicit in the mother's scheme to ditch the son on the holiday, and that just makes it worse for me. So he can get a big F yourself, and that's my least favorite character.
Well, you just said it because you remind me of Tate Donovan when you correct me for things like that.
You know what? End the podcast, Ryan. Please cut it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, that's him
Uh,
just being yep, Benny being Benny.
How
Ah,
dare
talk
you?
to you later. Talk to you later. Bye.
Taking a call in the middle of the podcast. How dare you?
Sorry, it's
what was
Brock
that
Purdy.
anyway? Who called?
Brock
Bob
Purdy.
Newhart? Oh.
Bob Newhart. He wants to know what he wants to know what your fucking deal is. Um, yeah, you guys took both of mine. They're so easily to hate in this movie, but give me Coons. Coons can go suck one off. I'm done with him. I'm done with the bully, the kid who's got the the insecurities and all things like that, and wants to just get on Angus the entire time. I mean, you know, taking that poor kid's mitten. I mean, what are we doing here? Grow up a little bit, and then he was able to go on the ski trip. Yeah, I think we've all dealt with somebody like that in high school, junior high, elementary school, just a bully, a dick, and those are the worst kind of people. So you take them for a grain of salt. But yeah, Coons, take a hike, but hopefully you got shipped off somewhere, never to be seen again.
It was satisfying seeing him fucking win slash sunburnt to hell at the
Oh,
end
I
of the
Flew
love
too
movie.
that.
close. Too close to the sun.
Yep.
Ozone.
Quick aside, I've noticed this in numerous movies. I've never encountered one in real life. Have you ever encountered someone like Paul Giamatti's character, Paul Hunnam, in this movie that like quotes books and 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 histories and things like that? Has that ever happened to you in your life?
No, but I was going to bring this conversation up in a different sense and ask if you guys ever had a teacher that was this much of an asshole. Because I immediately thought of one that I had. And surprisingly, it wasn't in college. It wasn't in high school. It wasn't in junior high school. It was in elementary school.
What?
It was my fourth grade teacher, and he was just the biggest, like, asshole for no reason to like a bunch of fourth graders. And I was thinking of him a lot during this movie. And part of me made me think, like, was he just misunderstood? Was, he just over it at that point because he was a little bit older? But yeah, have you guys ever had a teacher that was like this miserable?
Nah.
I don't know about miserable. No. Yeah, I think I remember somebody like that. I've had shitty teachers, but not nobody like miserable, miserable.
But
Right.
like a hard ass for like no reason at all?
Nah, not really.
No, I don't think so, actually.
So the other story I wanted to tell was my Italian teacher in high school. Um, you was
Buongiorno.
no it was known like you're probably going to drop this class the first week. And the whole first week, he was like the biggest wise ass, always like picking on people and being like super anal about things. But once you got through those first couple weeks where like a couple people would drop the class, he ended up being literally, I think, one of my favorite teachers of all time. Um, I'll never forget him. He was like, I wasn't going to take a fifth year of Italian in high school, but I specifically did for my senior year just so I can have him again. And he was one of the greatest teachers in the world. But I disappointed him so much because I remember in high school, I notoriously did not do homework. If it didn't happen within the 42 minutes I was in the class, I'm not doing it. You're not getting me to do anything outside of class. So he would always get so frustrated with me because we would have like speeches we'd have to give in Italian. And I would just, usually have to hand in a draft. He would edit it, and then you would give the speech in front of the class. And he would always get so pissed because I would just go up the day to give the project without handing anything in, do the speech, and he would always pull me aside and be like, Benedetto, I don't understand. You speak beautiful Italian, but you won't do the work. And I was like, yeah, no, that's just me. He's like, I want to give you an A so bad, but I got to give you a B. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever.
Take a
Just
bit.
the typical senior year. I don't give a fuck. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What was the speech?
I don't even remember. It was just, I
Bibbidi
think about,
bobbidi blah, blah, blah.
yeah, yeah. Buongiorno, mi chiamo Benedetto.
I love it. Sounds beautiful.
That's all I remember from Italian after 5 years.
All right, moving on. Nice. I think that Mike picked that one up.
That was a call for that. Sounded. Yeah,
It
that
wasn't a
wasn't a
burp.
burp.
Ah,
No.
damn it. All right, where are we at? We did least favorite. So scenes. Benny left. So Robbie, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Oh, you can go first.
All right, I'll go first. So should I do favorite or least favorite?
Favorite.
All right.
Favorite.
Favorite scene, I think eh, there's a lot of scenes that I thought of. But I think, and I already mentioned it quick, I it was maybe the most heart-wrenching, but I loved, the party scene, mainly for Mary's you know, I guess episode, for lack of a better way to explain it. But there's a lot happening in that party. Paul Giamatti found out that the love of his life had a boyfriend. Um, Angus kissed Miss Crane's niece, which is good for him. And
Lisa Lise.
yeah, that's right. And and Mary, had a breakdown, an understandable breakdown while there was a party going on. The best was this. I mean, during that scene, it was still funny. I forget exactly. Maybe Benny, correct me if I'm wrong because you watched it twice. When they're like, "Who made you the DJ?" She's like, "I did."
Yeah. They put me in charge of the music. Who put you in charge? Me.
I did. Yeah, I love that. But I'm gonna go with that one. I mean, again, there's a lot of choices here. I'm sure you guys will pick up a few of those, and we'll get to Ani mentions. But I'm gonna go with that one. I love the party scene. Just all the fun party vibes, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. But then, you know, uh, Paul Giamatti like dealing with, maybe some heartbreak a little. It seemed like he got over it pretty quick, which was nice. It wasn't like again that typical movie trope where he, pines after her or I don't know, runs to the airport before she flies away and fucking wins her over even though he smells like fish. And then Mary's performance was, that's what really sealed it for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I really enjoyed that about his reaction to finding out that she had a boyfriend, where you could see the disappointment on his face,
Right.
but he was also like, "All right, well,
All
I
right.
mean, I just gotta get, deal with it." And when she went to go see him at the end of the movie, he was like super nice to her and like definitely like realized, hey, she was my friend before
Yeah.
or an acquaintance before, and she'll keep being that. I'm not gonna be an asshole for no reason. So I did like the way that they kind of portrayed that quote unquote heartbreak.
Yeah. I think that's like if they showed Angus in a similar situation, his reaction would have been probably much more explosive. And that's just age. When you're younger, things are the worst thing that's ever happened. But
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti's older and more experienced. He knows, like, all right, yeah, this sucks, but moving on. What
Yeah.
am I gonna do?
Robbie, what was your favorite?
There's so many. There really is. I have to go with the chase scene. That brought a lot of LOLs in my house. So I thought it was great. Just the both of them running and chasing each other, coinciding with Angus doing a flip and absolutely shredding his fucking shoulder blade out of its socket. I love that. Um, it was I think it was like the turning point, one of the turning points of the movies where they start finally understanding each other, coinciding again with them going to the hospital and Angus helping Paul kind of lie about the whole insurance thing because obviously if they were to, you know, go through the insurance company, then it would go back to the school and kind of screw both of them and get both of them in trouble. So I really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was heartfelt. I thought that, like I said, them running through, and Benny even mentioned before, the way Paul Giamatti was running through the hallways in that scene, I thought was hilarious. He's There's just something about him, man. Like I just love that he's not your stereotypical like actor, like dashing good looks, 6 foot something, handsome, and he's just one of the boys. And that was one of my favorite scenes. I have tons of favorite scenes in movies, but that was one of my favorite scenes in movies that made me really laugh out loud and really enjoy the both of them kind of getting to understand one another and taking it from there.
So, fun fact, do you know who Paul Giamatti's father was?
I do.
Babe Ruth. Yes.
Yeah.
Cl
Yeah.
kind of in the same
It's
realm
on the
though.
SWAT.
He was Bart Giamatti was the commissioner of baseball.
That's right. That's right. You're right. I fucking
Yeah.
forgot about that.
He was the one that suspended Pete Rose for life.
I forgot about
Um,
that.
my favorite scene was, and I almost feel like I'm cheating because there is a lot to this, but it was the whole Boston arc.
I
Um,
had
I,
that
I
myself.
yeah, I love that, I loved you seeing their relationship evolve, especially after he sees that Angus has the same depression medication from him and things start to click a little bit more, even though, they're at that point they kind of started to enjoy each other's company a little bit more. But, it played off of the whole idea that well, I want to use his name that Paul had um earlier in the movie where like, oh, these kids all have a silver spoon in their mouth and they've all been born on third base thinking that they hit a triple. And it's that thing that Mary says to him when she's like, well, did you have an easy life growing up? And that was like the first time that seed was planted, and you really start to saw it like bear fruit, especially in Boston when he kind of realized like, okay, well, I understand this kid more now. And just like I said, seeing their relationship build, the ice skating scene, and then he sees the guy from Harvard, and then it's kind of part two of that hospital scene where they come up with another lie. I love at the end when they're doing like kind of the post game, and he's like, "Oh, I just needed to keep you on your toes," and he goes, "Oh, fuck that guy," and then Paul Giamatti's like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." And then it ends with that amazing scene that I said about the mental hospital. So just that whole Boston part, I just thought was fantastic and really like that was the high point of the movie for me. It built up great to that. It built their relationship out, and then you kind of have the end of the movie right after that, where you get the payoff of everything. So yeah, the Boston scene, I'm probably cheating a little bit because there is multiple scenes in there, but that was it for me.
Oh, that's fine. Do either of you want to try and go candlepin bowling?
Kind of.
It
That
looks
was
cool.
Yeah, that was another when I wanted to talk about Paul Giamatti, that was another one that I forgot to bring up. But when he tells that story, just how proud of himself he looks after, and the guy in the Santa Claus outfit and the bartender look at him like, who the fuck is this guy? And why is he what is he saying? And he's just like so proud. He makes a little face. Dude, Paul Giamatti just killed it.
That's what I'm talking about. People do that in films all the time. Like, oh yeah, it was the Byzantine Empire that such and
Yeah.
such, or like, whatever, some mythology or antiquity or whatever. I've never encountered someone like that in real life, and I kind of want to.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
All right. At
Go
least,
ahead.
oh, Ani Menches. Ani
Yeah,
Menches.
anime again.
Sorry. At least
Benny,
I
you got
covered
somewhere
my
to be?
I do.
All
No,
right.
I don't.
And
I
that's
don't.
fair. Let's go. Let's move on. Anyone Ani mentions?
Cherry's Jubilee scene, loved it. Thought it was
That was good.
hilarious. Coinciding with them burning the entire Jubilee off the car and onto the ground. Just want to say I love Boston. I looked into moving to Boston, but I'm too much of a pussy. I just love uh that city. So shout out Boston.
All right.
I agree. I love New England in general. I would love to
I know.
move there someday. Probably not. I'm also a pussy.
Tell me about it. Look, my good friend just got fired from the Patriots. So shout out Bill Belichick,
Oh,
Oh,
friend of the program.
friend of the
right.
program, friend of me and Benny's, things like that.
My Ani Mensch was is the newlywed game scenes.
That was funny. Of
And you know how Paul Giamatti has knows nothing about it, and
course not.
then the second time they're watching and he's just so into it, like laughing about it. And again, it's just the chemistry between him and Devine. So I loved getting to see those scenes.
Surprised he wasn't like fucking this wouldn't this be hilarious if Cleopatra and the Roman Empire, Roman
That was
Emperor
annoying
was
me a
on
little
this
bit.
together? Oh, that would have been such a joy to watch.
Yeah, but I love like it's almost a commentary on life where like you could be the smartest person in the world, but you get sit in front of that TV for a little bit and all of a sudden you get sucked in. Doesn't matter how smart you are or how stupid you are, you can get sucked in easy.
What we do here.
That's right.
Um, I like just quick Ani mention, nothing super specific is again, like some of the stuff with the kids, with the other kids. I just thought that was fun, interesting. Even Kuntz, who is a fucking jerk. I still liked those scenes with those kids. Like the one scene where I forget his name, but the one kid like wet his bed, and that was like I feel like the first instance of realizing that Angus like wasn't a complete asshole. Like he was, trying to help him. Um, and then the last scene, just Paul Giamatti falling on the sword, and Angus hopefully, I think, realizing like exactly what he did for him, and hopefully he doesn't waste that, even though it's a fictional character, but doesn't waste this opportunity that he gave him, and maybe Paul does write that monologue.
Yeah. That's what too, like, I'm always we've talked about this I think during like Game of Thrones and stuff like this, but I hate when a movie ends and I have so many questions like, well, what happened to him after? Like, what did he do? Is he okay? But I almost feel like they both got what they really needed in the end. Like
Yeah.
maybe Paul needed to get the hell out of there and like branch out and actually follow some dreams and do things and get out of his comfort zone. And Angus got that second chance. And knowing that somebody actually believes in him and would sacrifice themselves for him.
Yeah.
So as much as I kind of wanted to know what happened to Paul after, I do like thinking that he got exactly what he needed.
Yeah, Barton was basically his whole life, other than like elementary school and 4 years at Harvard.
Yeah.
All right.
Least favorites?
Least favorites?
Well, the Christmas morning scene was great too.
Oh yeah, good call.
Getting the books, obviously gifting them the same exact books. I think I have
And
that
then
book actually.
You
and then
do. I've seen it on your shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you see he's got the whole box of
The
those
box of
books
them.
at the end.
Did you? I felt like I was like, I know him looking at that bottle. What was it, Louis the
Louis
15th or whatever
XII.
it was? Did
Yeah.
you think that was going to come back around full circle?
I actually the first time I watched it, I thought that was the gift that they gave to him for him staying there. Not that it was for the headmaster, but I'm also an idiot, so
Great song playing when he drives away.
Yeah.
yeah. I love that he spits it out. He steals it and then
Yeah.
spits it out.
I thought he was gonna drink it like while he
Driving.
was there. Well, no,
Oh,
like while he was over the winter break.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Who just went for?
I did.
All right, so go for least favorite.
My least favorite scene, there's not a lot, so I'll just take the one that made me the most uncomfortable, and it was Angus getting his shoulder put back into his socket. Because
Blah.
the way that they did the
Uh,
makeup on his shoulder and to make it seem like it was popping out. Yeah, I don't ever want to be in the room when something like that is happening. I mean, you never know what I'm gonna have to be in the room for in the future, but geez, I mean, if it's worse than a shoulder dislocation, I'm probably going down for the count. Um, so yeah, the most uncomfortable slash worst scene for me is Angus getting his shoulder pop back in.
That. Fun fact, my son's shoulder popped out of its socket this week while we were at the hospital.
Oh
wow.
no.
He's okay.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm sure I was screaming in pain.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there. He was at my parents.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
Big
but he's
Pappy.
all right. He's all right.
Big Pappy, how dare you?
No, he's good, but yeah, I can't imagine that that's a fun time.
No. Prayers up to Charlie.
That was almost as worse as getting red wine spilled on a pair of my
It's
chinos.
almost as bad. Because listen, your shoulder can get popped back in, but those chinos are ruined forever.
Ah,
Oh,
please,
please.
those
They're gone.
chinos.
Throw them in the garbage. They're gone.
I
Please,
couldn't
you would have
believe
had
it.
a fresh pair show up at your doorstep. I don't want to hear it. Charlie's never gonna get his shoulder the same again.
Wait, Robbie, do the new chinos fit the same as the old ones?
They do.
All right. I was gonna say, imagine if they were just slightly off.
I got him tailored weird.
Yeah.
One leg is shorter than the other by a little bit.
Oh, the ones that Benny were gonna get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would have got me some Wranglers or something like that. He's a big Brett Favre guy anyway, so who knows?
Well, I hear you're a big jeans guy now, so maybe I got you a pair of Jordashes.
Look out, here I come.
You're a jeans guy now?
Well, thanks for listening to the podcast. Yeah, well, ooh, that's nice.
I
Was
know.
I bought a pair of jeans. So look out for
So
me.
look out for
Jeans
you.
and jeans and black dress shoes. Here I come.
Listen, a lot can happen in a week and a half. I said it before.
Yeah. So here I come.
2024.
No draws.
Watch out for more of
Look
Robbie.
out. Look out.
Wait, whose turn is it? Least favorite?
I think Robbie's.
Okay.
My least favorite, I think my least favorite scene is when he gets the phone call that he's not going to be able to go on vacation with his parents. That hit home.
was-
Not hit home. I mean, my parents said that to me. Things nothing crazy like that. Only take me to a slaughterhouse. But other than that, things like that aren't crazy. But no, it's tough, man. Like eh, what parents do to the kids sometimes really shapes who they are and how the person that they become, or at least quote unquote give them some trauma in their lives. And something like this can really, hurt a kid's feelings and make him question himself, especially when he's already on edge because of his dad. So I didn't like this scene. The mom can go scratch, the stepdad take a hike. So that wasn't a nice scene for me on an emotional level. I thought that was pretty messed up. So
Yeah. Strong agree. And then I mean, um, when he couldn't get in touch with them to go in the helicopter with the rest of the kids. Like that's brutal as a teenager being
Yeah,
left
and
out
and
like that.
and like I find it funny. One kid's family's on like a Mormon mission, or God knows where, and the other kid's family's in Korea, and they're able to get in touch with the
Yeah,
both of them.
bullshit.
Stop.
Like they don't have fucking phones wherever they went on their honeymoon. Come on.
Exactly.
Well, they did, but they just weren't answering.
Yeah, they would probably just smash it all day long.
Try telling you, the stepdad's plan is to start a new family with the mom and just push
Push him
Angus
out.
out.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, give him a stack of bills every Christmas and see you never. That's his plan. Uh, my least favorite, I guess, is because we already mentioned some of the other things, but I'm gonna go with when I forget his name, but that other teacher was just like bullshit, like his mom was sick, and then you just like, oh fuck it, let's let Paul Giamatti do it or Paul Hunnam do it, because also he fucked over us with that donor, so fuck him. I don't know. It's just like, come on, playing the politic game, such bullshit.
Another great moment from Giamatti is when they're in the church together, and
Yeah.
he's like, I was like, oh yeah, your mother, or whatever. We're all pulling for her.
Yeah. The guy originally was like, "What?" Oh
Yeah.
yeah, right. Stupid. But then he called them. What did he say? If penis cancer was in human form, it'd be you.
To the headmaster.
Yeah. Uh, any honorable mentions on least favorites? There wasn't a lot, I don't think.
No, there was, yeah, definitely not a lot for me.
Yeah, no, me either.
All right. Um, so I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of good answers here, but is there anything that you guys can think of to make this movie better?
I could think of a way to make it better, but I don't think it actually would be better. And I want to, like I said, I want to know what happens to Paul after. Does he write the book? How does it go when he goes over to Europe? But I think it was the perfect ending. And, if you're asking me to make a movie better, I'm probably going to make it worse. So I'll go with my gut instinct there and I'll make it worse.
I'd love to see like Holdovers Part Two, and it's a road trip movie with him driving to, where did he say he was going? Syracuse, I think.
Yeah.
So from
Oh,
Massachusetts
fun.
to
That's fun.
Syracuse. Imagine the hijinks he would get into.
I just hope he stops at Saratoga and goes to Scallions.
Oh, I mean, he'd love it there.
He
I
really
just
would.
hope he doesn't get disappointed and order some scallions because they don't serve him there. So,
Robbie, any ways from you?
yeah, probably just stop quoting historical shit. That was, then that kind of annoyed me. And I am a big history guy, but I was like, all right, Paul, take it easy now. We get it. I don't need to know about the Romans and these guys and those guys. But yeah, that's it. Benny, you're a big you know, find out what happens next kind of guy. 25th hour, you want to know what happened to Philip Seymour Hoffman after he made out with his student.
Yep.
So you got
I do.
you make sequels, man. You
You
start
think?
writing.
It's
I think you're a
sequels
good
that
writer.
no one ever asked for.
Yeah, that's you know what? Spin-off podcast. There it is. That's the name.
All
Sequels that
right.
nobody asked for.
All
Yeah,
right. I mean, you
love it.
two are busy. You got with two podcasts now, so I'm gonna have to find some new people to do podcasts with.
Blaze, who wants to do another one with you?
Uh,
How dare you? Topo Chico almost went up my nose.
oh my God, Benny sequels.
It'll be a
Um,
solo pod.
yeah, do it. That would be fun. Do it.
We'll see.
Um, I got nothing. Um, yeah, I agree with Benny. I want to know what happens. I'll agree with that.
All right.
Um, I do know a way we can make this movie maybe a little better, and that's by working overtime America's favorite new game featuring us, a couple of idiots, casting Matt Damon in the film in which he was not cast. Why? Why the fuck not?
Robbie, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. This is a serious one. Give me young, deranged, older, not young, father figure, deranged, mentally unstable, divorcee. Give me Matt Damon as Tommy Tully, Angus's dad. I would love to see Matt Damon in a short role. You're not expecting who the dad's going to be, and out pops mentally deranged, sexy as ever, Matt Damon. I think he would have played that part great. I think it would have been a nice little toe to toe between him and Dominic Cessa. Um, yeah, because I thought the guy who played Thomas Tully, I mean, get out of here. That guy kind of stunk to me. I don't know. I really didn't enjoy the way he acted that scene out. But yeah, I think Matt Damon would have nailed that part. He's in, he's out, and he would have took over the scene. And that's all I really have. I couldn't really think of anything else. I would just have liked to seen a middle-aged, mentally unstable Matt Damon uh, playing Thomas Tully.
Ryan?
Real quick, I don't think Matt Damon has ever played like a psychologically damaged character,
Yeah, that's why I like to
right?
see him play this character.
I mean, a little bit maybe in my next character who I want to see a young, drunk, PTSD having Bagger Vance as the
Nice pick.
golf coach of the school who's just still there because he doesn't even realize it's winter break because he's drunk. And maybe, Angus and Paul Giamatti get involved with him and he shows up to dinner a few times with, Mary's making dinner. But yeah, give me any he doesn't learn anything. He doesn't clean up his act and win the golf tournament. He's just fucking drunk Matt Damon. Just hanging around the school grounds, walking around.
What's better than that?
Not much.
Give me a handsome,
Oh,
middle-aged, hair parted down the middle,
Oh,
wearing a nice leisure suit.
ouch.
After credit scene, movie ends, credits roll. Come fade back in. Mary's walking out of the school. She just finished a hard day's work. Get a little maybe caption over the screen, 1973. Convertible pulls up. It's Matt Damon. Mary gets in. They take
oh,
off together. We get a nice happy ending for Mary. We get our boy Matt on screen for a little bit, and everybody goes home after the movie from the theater with a little pep in their step, seeing a handsome Matt Damon pick up Mary, and she has a little happy ending there.
poor Danny.
I'm sorry, Danny. I love you. I was originally going to replace Danny, but I said, you know what? I like Danny in the movie because he was the janitor and Good Will Hunting. But I said, no, I want him. I want him in the movie still. But at the end of the day, Matt's going to come in and steal your girl.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
New girl.
That's what they call him.
Nice.
And we set up Holdovers Part 2. I mean, I'll tell you more about that on my podcast.
What's the name of that podcast again?
Uh, the sequels nobody asked for, featuring Benny Baloney.
I love it. Fantastic. And you're an Italian teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'll have him on.
Nice.
Buongiorno, boys. Um, is there anything else you guys want to say about this film?
Holiday movie or not?
Yeah, great question. I was going to ask that. I
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. It's got what you want. Holiday,
Christmas,
little Christmas parties,
snow,
seasonal depression.
seasonal depression, lifelong
It's
depression,
Lifelong
family
depression.
trauma.
Yeah,
Uh,
I kind of agree. Paul Giamatti said that it was as well, but I don't know, like it's missing something that pushes it like over the edge. It makes it like a no doubt Christmas movie. Like I feel if I
Santa Claus?
Old
He
man
was in
Molly
it.
shoveling the grounds.
Yeah, burying a shovel in the back, somebody said. Um, I feel if I say this is a holiday movie, I have to say Die Hard is, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but you know,
So
winter it's Christmas. Christmas
I
Eve they wake
know,
up. Christmas Day it's
I
snowing.
know,
It's New England. It's Ted Williams, Teddy Ball Game.
I know, but it's more about the relationship. I don't know. There's no it. The lesson isn't learned because it's Christmas. It happens at Christmas, but you don't learn the lesson because of Christmas. Does that make
There's a
sense?
lesson, right?
It does.
There's a Christmas lesson.
Yeah.
I guess kind of.
Don't visit your wacko dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be mean to kids that don't have their parents around them.
It's
Right.
true.
I don't know. I think my plan is to watch it again around Christmas next year and see how I feel.
All right, we'll come back 1 year later.
Yeah.
It didn't give me the Christmas feels and nostalgia feels that I like to get when I'm watching Home Alone, Elf, Bone Alone, things like that. So it didn't really give me it didn't give me that, but maybe I'll watch it during Christmas time next year, like Ryan said, and see how I'm feeling. God willing.
Yeah,
God is good, but God willing, I'm still here.
yeah.
Uh,
Do we think Giamatti has a chance at the Oscar?
I think didn't he win the Golden Globe?
He won.
Yeah, best actor in a
No,
comedy. They
Killian
split it.
won.
They split it up, comedy and drama. So he won comedy.
Did he?
Yeah. When are you gonna listen to Robbie?
I mean, when he stops busting my balls about chinos that are they're perfectly fine. He did win a Golden Globe.
Yeah. What else was he in this year?
Look it up. Look it up because I want to see your
No,
face. And I want to see your face.
no, I believe you.
No, I
I
want to
believe
see your
you.
face.
I believe you.
And
But he
Divine one.
won. He won Best Actor. Okay, so maybe they split up for the Golden Globes, and he did win. But he beat Bradley Cooper and Cillian Murphy at like the Critics' Choice or something recently.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, so he's got a shot.
So
I'm all in.
he won against Nicolas Cage, Matt Matt Damon being nominated. Listen, we love Matt Damon on this podcast, but Air should not have been
Yeah, that
nominated.
was.
Stop it.
Yeah, no.
Timothy Chalamet,
For
uh,
Wonka.
Joaquin Phoenix, and Jeffrey Wright.
Well, what was that category, Ryan?
That was Best Actor in a Motion Picture for musical or comedy.
Oh, okay. Just what I wanted to know. I didn't know what that was.
It wasn't a comedy though.
Neither was the bear, but they're scooping up the comedy
Yeah,
award.
it's true. Yeah.
Scoops.
So
Yeah.
stupid. It's so stupid.
More scoops than an ice cream shop.
Well, Benny, you're the only one I can't say because I haven't seen Oppenheimer. You're the only one that saw both. What do you think?
Mhm. It's really hard to not give it to Cillian Murphy. I thought he was like amazing in Oppenheimer. And what I like about Paul Giamatti in this movie, like there's the ups and the downs. Like he's wild. He's that's heartfelt. And Oppenheimer is like very much a one note kind of thing, but it's so good and it's so captivating and it's so much dialogue and it keeps your attention the whole time. My heart wants Giamatti, but my head says it's Cillian Murphy. Like I just think it's his time. That movie just has so much momentum behind it. I think it's going to end up being Cillian Murphy. I don't think Bradley Cooper should be even in the discussion. I really don't.
Yeah, he probably could annoys me. I mean, I haven't seen a movie. I'm never gonna see it, but
Never. I will never watch that movie.
No.
From the clips I've seen online, it looks like he did a good job with it.
Yeah.
I can't deny that, but I just think after watching these two movies and seeing these two performances, I don't see how it could be anybody else. I'm the clip I'm thinking about from the composer, whatever the hell it's called, is that
Maestro,
clip.
yeah.
Maestro.
Yeah, my show that's been popping up online is him as an old man. Have you seen that where he's like smoking the cigarette and he's talking about, yeah, the music doesn't really flow through me anymore like it once did. But I was like, oh, that's like, I mean, it seems like, he really got into this role, and it's gotten a lot of praise. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass because I haven't seen it, but to me, it's hard to beat those two guys, Cillian Murphy and Paul Giamatti.
I agree with you, Robbie. Something about I've seen plenty of movies with Bradley Cooper that I like, but something about him annoys the shit out of me.
Something about like I don't know, like I wanted to rip his face off in A Star Is Born. I don't know why.
I couldn't watch that movie.
Nah.
Nah, I didn't watch that shit.
Is it
Yeah.
because he's so handsome?
I don't really
You
think
know,
that he's good looking.
Please, he's
Come
handsome.
on. No, he's handsome, but
handsome, but
he's not blowing me out of the water like a Matt Damon, like a DiCaprio, like a Chalamet. Come on.
Please, if you were in a restaurant and he accidentally spilled water on you, you wouldn't get all flustered.
Yeah, I would say though that's $100 from Bonobos. Write the check. Cut the check.
And he's like, well, maybe I can make it up to you in another way.
Cast me in one of your movies.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, but
listen.
you have to get on what's known as the casting couch.
I mean, that's free of charge for me. Nah, I'm in there like swimwear. I'm like, no, he's not on my top 5 good-looking men of all time. That's Paul Newman. That's Bobby
Bob
Redford.
Newhart.
Those are things that is Bob Newhart, Don Rickles, things like that.
All right. All right.
Bradley, I know
Uh,
you're listening. Come on the show.
Defend your
Defend
honor.
your honor. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I watched it a second time. I didn't think I wanted to. I'm glad I did.
Same. I'm glad we picked this one and we watched it. And I'm happy we all liked it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
All right. Well, as always, much appreciated. Thank you for your, listening, for your support. We'll have another, I think we're gonna have a vote Friday, right? We'll figure it out. We have to think about it. No?
Yeah, we'll
Did
have
you heard that?
Yeah, we'll have a
Just a
Damn.
vote.
little, like the end.
I didn't eat anything. I haven't eaten anything gassy all day.
It's fine.
Maybe the eggs.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably the eggs. Sorry, guys.
So quite
Okay.
all right. So yeah, send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any guest tips for Robbie,
Please.
or anything. Let us know what you thought about this movie, any of the other episodes we've done. Check those out. And subscribe on YouTube, wherever the hell that fucking thing is, down here somewhere, I guess. We love you. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night, Mr. Tully. There was a time when the fire in my loins burned white hot.
It'll curl your toes.
Curl your tongue.
Hey, Robbie, you're penis cancer in human form.
Oh,
That's
Rob,
kinda
I mean,
fucked up.
Ryan stole that, so I'll use my other favorite Paul Giamatti line and say, "You are the motherfucking Antichrist."
I'll use another one. This is on the Cherries Jubilee scene. Christ on a crutch. What kind of fascist Hess foundry are you running here?
love that.
Bitch.
Go
I just like the
Niners.
way he says "son of a bitch." Son of
Yeah.
a bitch. That's another detention.
Shout out, Paul.
Shout out the Niners. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go
Yeah,
Niners for
both of you.
Robbie.
Go fuck yourself. The both of you.
What the fuck are you doing?
Miserable
Fine, go
fuck.
Packers. Go Packers,
You
go.
fucking Paul Giamatti, motherfucker, miserable bastard.